Hi, I'm Andrew Dees. I'm the offensive line coach here at Temple University. These drills we put together for you are the same drills we use every day to make our linemen the best in the MAC.
The first thing that I start with is a good stance. I believe this is the foundation to be a good offensive lineman. As you can tell in this picture right here, they all look very similar. Their outside hand's down. That outside hand is slightly inside their outside foot, and their off arm is chambered in a position where they can bring it and punch and run. This is how we get to that. We have a drill that we use at the beginning of camp, so this way we all look similar. This is how I get it done. First thing I do is I take them back a yard from a line. Okay, now the nice thing about this is you can have as many lines as you need. You know, if you have 20 guys, 30 guys, it's not an issue. Okay, you just get them in a spot where they can get in kind of a grid, 5 yards apart, because you can do everything from this grid. First thing we talk about is step up. You can tell they step up to the line. Here's a good look from the side. Next thing I say to them is set their feet. Now when we set our feet, we talk about getting a slight stagger. As you can see right here, outside foot is going to be to the heel of your inside foot. It's got to be a position where you can keep all your cleats in the ground. I don't want to see that back foot. I don't want to see the cleats back there. Okay, so I want to make sure they do a good job of keeping that heel on the ground. Next thing they do is down. They get to this position right here. As you can tell, still I want their head up, good proud chest, elbows on the knees. Next thing we talk about is stretch. Now as you see the stretch right here, they're supposed, as soon as they stretch, they want to chamber that off arm. We talk about stapling your wrist to your knee. Okay, 50 does not do it right here. He's still got his elbow on his knee. That's a problem that you're gonna have to overcome, and don't treat lightly, because later on they get a little lazy with it and they don't get a good punch. Okay, but we want to tell them to staple that wrist to the knee. Next thing we're gonna do is stretch. When you stretch, as you can tell right there, let me rewind this real quick. You tell right there, 79 is kind of plopping it down, where 59 is stretching, getting it down to the ground. Okay, and the third part of this is, as you can tell by the side right here, is once he gets his hand down, you want to make sure that all 5 fingers are in the ground. Okay, as you can tell, the young man closest to you in the video, his thumb is not in the ground, or his pinky finger. Okay, so that's telling me that he's got too much weight back in his stance, and this is a bad stance. So this is something that we would correct and make sure it looks like the third young man in, the one who's slightly unshaved. You can tell all 5 fingers are in the ground, head up, good flat back, all his cleats are in the ground. This is what I consider a good stance, and this is the base for everything we do to be an offensive lineman at Temple. The next thing that we work on is what we call the drive step. The drive step is a 6-inch step with either foot that you're trying to get on the ground as quickly as possible. As you take a look right here, you can see how fast that foot's getting in the ground. And another good teaching tool for you to use is a line, because you see right now that back foot's about 6-7 inches back, and he's probably stepping a little bit too far because he's on the white line. I want that shoe to stop right before the white line. Okay, you go right and left. Now he's a little bit closer to the line, so I don't want him to step over the line. Okay, but you can see he's chambering his hand, chest on knee. Okay, and we use 2 goes for the drill. I'd stop him right here, for example, and I go around and I'd look at everybody's posture. I want the chest on knee, I want their hands back, I want the head up, so this way they can see what they're hitting. And then after that, I get them back in their stance and I do it again, and I use 2 goes. See right here, this young man, first go, he's going to step, 6-inch step, put it in the ground with his right foot, and the second step, he's going to bring it through and punch. Okay, the big thing here is it's about timing. You want to get that second step on the ground as you are punching. Okay, a lot of times you're going to see as you do this drill that some people are punching well before that second step can get on the ground. That's going to be a problem when you go against your defense or you go against somebody else, because now you're essentially blocking somebody on one leg. This drill right here is our bucket drill. We're going to take the same premise as we did for the drive and the T-board. First thing I'm going to have them do is step over the white line. As you can tell, they're facing towards the sideline. We use the line on the field, so this way it gives them a reference point, and I want that toe facing at 45 degrees after they take that first step. Let's take a look at it. Right there, chest on the knee, make sure they step over the line. Same thing, I'm going to give them 2 goes. First go, I'm going to stop them right there. And on the second go, they're just going to run through on an angle of 45 degrees. Let's take a look at that. We will do this right and left. Same thing, he's going to step over the line on the first go. And the second go, they're going to go. On this one, it's just one go because it's later in camp, and by now they know the drill. So they know what I'm looking for, and they've been coached up. Here's another look at it going to the left. You can see right here, I want to put this one on because you see the second guy from the right. You see how he's stepping on his toe? We don't want to step on his toe. If you look at the center right here, see how he's got his whole foot on the ground? Only thing I don't like there is he's crossing over. Those are some of the common problems you'll see with this drill. Let's take a look at it in a game. You look at our center right here, good bucket step, toe at 45, right in the defender, third step, contact, and now he runs his feet. It's a good block right there. This is the bucket drill. The drill that we use to help our offensive linemen block the linebackers is, simply enough, we call it block linebacker drill. Here we're looking for a good T-board step, and you can tell they all have good bases as they run toward the linebackers. Here, especially a lot of young players, they want to lunge at the linebacker. You don't want to lunge at them because linebackers are better athletes usually than offensive linemen, and they'll make you miss. So they're, as you can tell right here, they're running to the bag, good tight elbows, striking up and widening and quickening their feet. Okay, one more time, I'll let it go full go. Good job right there, whistle. Another way to teach this drill, we go one at a time, right down the line. Same principles, same coaching points. Okay, here you can tell his feet are a little bit tighter. Okay, get the bag to move a little bit. Good tight elbows, and once he makes contact, he's widening and quickening his feet. Okay, this is a great drill to use in the chutes because it helps with their pad level and gets them to run off the ball. Still same principles. You want to take a T-board step, punch the bag, widen and quicken. Same thing here, second group. They're T-boarding, widen and quicken. Once they make contact, tight elbows. Okay, we go right, then left. Okay, same thing. Work on your pad level coming out of the chutes, widen and quicken. Same thing. Pad level coming out of the chutes, widen and quicken. Contact on the back. Okay, this is what we call our block the linebacker drill. This drill right here we use to determine the angle that our offensive line are taking. This is a great tool. The first thing I do, as you can tell, is I face them towards the sideline and I make them put their foot on the white line. This way they can see how much width they're kicking with as you take a look right here. My big coaching point on this, on your pass set, is you always want to stay on top of the defender that you're blocking. A lot of times you hear guys talk about they want to set out at a 45 degrees. The problem with that is that now when they go to jam, they have to turn their inside part of their body out, so this way they create a two-way go to the defender when they try to jam with both hands. Take a couple look at this. Here's a good look at it right here. Only thing I want to see is their first 3 kick slides. It should almost look the same. You can tell 51 right now, he's got way too much weight back. But the whole, as this line, as you look at it, the whole right side goes on one side and the whole left side goes on the other. They should all look the same. They should have the same width. One more time on the right side, same thing. See, 51 again has way too much weight back. Okay, his front leg is leaning back and all his weight's on his back. If you look at 70 right here, it's pretty good. That kick slide, and you can see how his power step foot kind of just grazes the top of the grass. Here's a look at the left side. They all look the same. Good footwork. It's trying to stay on top of the block. This is our pass set drill. This drill right here we call sets on bags. As you can take a look, we put down 5 bags over every position, and the only thing we want to do here is just for them to set and stay in place. The key coaching point here is you want to make sure that they're inside eye of the defender all the time. So that's why we start with bags. Their outside eye should be on their inside eye of the defender. That's what we call a half a man. And I'll just move the bags around. Here you see tackles. Now I kick the bags a little bit wider. First time the tackle's just set, he's tight. Here I moved a little bit wider, so this way they have to kick slide. Same thing. Now we have the centers. With the centers, because they do very little real kick slide, they kind of just get back. So I just make them go left and right. Put a bag on the left, and they'll go to the left, then I'll put another one on the right, just to make sure they set. Sometimes I'll give them a wide, what we call a 2-eye that they have to kick to. They probably get a kick slide or two. But this is what we call sets on bags. In Pass Pro, we talk about having good balance, playing low, and being able to move your feet without getting too close. So the drill that I like to use is what we call bend and punch. I'm not interested in the timing of the speed. I'm interested in them keeping their feet wide and staying low with good balance. As you can tell right here, they actually have 25-pound plates in their hand. Okay, trying to make sure they keep that base wide as they move. 70 back here, second from the end. You can tell his feet are getting a little bit too tight, as is 63 and 73. I'm probably yelling at him right now to stay down there low. Okay, now most of the time we don't usually use the weights. As you can tell right here, same thing. It's all about having good balance, staying low, keeping a good base, and just working on their jam. Okay, here's a couple more looks of the same thing. Good balance. I just line them up. I just work them right down the line. Okay. It's all about keeping a good base in this drill. Don't worry about the speed. You just want them to work on their feet and make sure they're bending. Okay? We call this drill bend and punch. This drill right here we call the punch drill. I put all the offensive linemen, we cover down the bags and put them on their knees. Here I'm looking for a good punch with an uppercut movement, and this way they can roll their hips into it. So let's take a look at it. Right here you can see punching, rolling the hips. Here I'm more interested in getting those hips into the bag than I am getting their face onto it. But it's good uppercut. You can see they're lifting the bag, the sled up on their knees, and multiple goes again. Okay, here's another look at it right here. Same thing, look from the side. See, we're not winding our arms, they're shooting their hands, rolling their hips. Here's a look at it from behind. Same thing, shooting their hands, rolling the hip. This drill we use every day before we get on the chutes, and it's a great drill to get them to learn how to roll their hips and to get and work on their punch. This is what we call the punch drill. This drill right here we call the shoot drill. We've taken all of our footwork and we incorporate it into this drill. As you can tell, there's no one in front of the offensive lineman in the stance. The first part, I just have them take their drive steps and run out for 3 hard steps and get back. And we go right foot and left foot. Let's take a look at it. There you go, 1, 2, 3, just 3 steps, get in and get out, right foot, and here's the left foot. Next part, I put a defender in front of him, and we're still working on the same principles, getting that second step in the ground. Take a look at 69, he's a little late with his second step. If you look at 68, he gets his second step in the ground as he punches. And once again, we will go right foot, and here it is from the left foot as well. Okay? Still trying the same principles, getting that second foot in the ground. Here's the T-board. Same principles, getting that second foot in the ground. Once again, we will go right and left. Now, if you don't have chutes, you can just do the same drill
Just line the defenders up at the end of the board and make sure they work on their base and getting that first and second step in the ground as they have contact on that second step. Here you can tell right here we're T-boarding without the chute. Okay, nice thing about the chutes though, it keeps their pads down and you know what you're getting. Here you can tell they're a little bit higher because they have the comfort of knowing they don't have to shoot. That's T-board right. Here's T-board left. Okay. Next thing that we do in this drill is we also pull. We're looking to whip that arm around, open up, and make contact on your third step. Elbows tight and run your feet. Here it is from the chutes. Same thing. We'll go right and left in this drill. Open up, second step on the ground, third step punch. We hope you have the same success as we've had with the drive block. As you can tell right here, our right tackle getting his drive step in the ground, second step, gets underneath the defender, climbs him, and puts him on his ground. Dominating block. Next one, you see a picture of our tight end right here. Same thing. Look at his drive footwork. First step, second step on the ground, runs his feet, and gets him on the ground.
This drill right here, we're teaching how to cut a defender off that is away from the play. Like everything else that I do, we do it in two separate steps. The first step right here, you're going to see he's going to take a bucket step. He's going to set the angle. On the back side of any play, we talk about beating them to a spot. Okay, so that's the first step, sets the spot where he's going to be into. Second step is going to rip through. Let's take a look at it again. Here's a bucket step. Arms back. Second step, he's going to rip through and beat him to the spot. Now this is a common problem you're going to see right here. First of all, the bucket step's so wide that he has to lean back to get a piece of the defender and beat him to the spot. Okay? You never want to lean back to a defender, because as soon as you lean back to a defender, they'll beat you over the top. Okay? Let's take a look at it the way it's supposed to be right here. See, good bucket step, rips through, beats him to the spot. That's perfect. One more time. Bucket, ripping through. Like everything else that I do, once again, 2 goes. First go to set the angle and make sure that it's right so I can coach it. Second thing, to see how they're going to step, and it has to be done with speed. You want to beat them to a spot. This is how we work on the backside of cutoff or away from a play. This drill right here we call sets on grid. Nice thing about this drill is you can coach every player in your position at once. First thing they do is they get their sets, and I want to make sure that they look the way they're supposed to look. Big thing with me is to make sure that the weight is not on their toe, that the weight is on the insteps of their feet, that your up foot knee is, your knee is over your up foot. Your back knee should be slightly inside. This way your whole foot can get on the ground. This way you have power. Now after I do this drill, we do another drill we call kick and power step on command. So it kind of looks like this. I get them up. I say go. They get in their set. Now I give them calls. Right here I said kick, so they're kicking again. Now power, then kick. This way they're not guessing. This way it looks the way I want, and make sure they're doing it the way I want. Here's another look at it right here. Here's another kick, power. The key thing here is when they power step, make sure they're not moving up. Make sure the power step is lateral. You never want to gain any ground, and you want to make sure that they don't open up their inside foot. It kind of creates a swinging gait effect. Here's a look at it, and you can split them up and go half line, go left side, right side, as I did right here. Same thing, kick and power on command. This way they move their feet, and this way I can kind of look at their sets. And now you look again. Here's the rest of the group going. Same thing, kick and power on command. Just get them a chance to move their feet, and you get a chance to coach their sets. If they're too high, if they're laying forward too much. Okay, this is what I call kick and power on command, along with sets on grid. This drill right here we call the jam drill. Now, there's 2 ways that we do this drill. The first way we're going to take a look at right now. I start the offensive lineman on their knees. It's to simulate a pass jam, so this way they don't lunge. They can kind of feel what I want it to look like. I give them once I put them on the knees, I give them multiple goes to hit the bag, as we'll take a look at right here. We're looking for a 6-inch punch. I don't want them to lunge forward towards the bag. I want them to keep their shoulders and head back as if they're pass proing. They're usually pretty quick whistles. You can take a look at here. Okay, this player here, right here, does a good job looking 6-inch, striking the bag in one spot, thumbs together. Next way we do it, we work right down the line. This way they get on moving their feet and getting a good jam. We use the bags. See how low he is, head back, shoulders aren't lunging. That's the way we do it. This drill right here is a great drill to help you move your feet and to work on your punch. In Pass Pro, we call it two-man jam. As you can tell right here, the offensive player starting up in a 2-point, or you can either start them up in a 3-point. And we'll work this drill 2 ways. Outside, we'll start and we'll set to the outside and work with that wider rusher and power step inside, or we'll start with the power step and he'll work outside, and I'll show you both ways in this shape. Right here you can tell, good set, get the front of the rush, and then he power steps inside. The key coaching point with the bag holder is the second bag holder, you'll have to give him the go command until they'll get used to the drill, because if not, you have 2 guys rushing at once and nobody gets any better. Here's a look at it right here. First go, boom, good kick, punches, now he power steps inside. Okay. Same thing here, working outside first, good jam, comes inside, power steps inside, good jam. Okay, the relationship that you always want to work to have is what I tell my players is they want their outside eye on the inside eye of the defender, half a man is the coaching point on this. And here's a look at it going from inside out. Good set from a 3-point, power steps down, gets a half man inside, and then he kicks back out to the wire. Here's one more time. Good set, power steps inside, good jam, kicks out to the wire. And this is what we call two-man jam. This drill right here is what we call second step punch. It's a great drill to work on your timing of getting your second step on the ground as you punch. As you can watch here, you can see number 79 to the left does a good job. Once his second step's on the ground, you can see he's punching the bag at the same time. Now right next to him, number 69, second from the left. See how his foot's a little bit late? He's punching the bag, so he's essentially blocking the defender with one leg. 73 to the right has the same problem. Now the coaching point here is you want to make sure they still have a good job. Talk about creating a triangle with your hands and your face mask. And 78 here, he's got way too much weight back. Do you see how he's standing up? Not what we want. I want to make sure they do a better job of getting their face into the bag as we punch. As you look at 73, you can see that. We go right and left on this drill, and you can also see they're going here. Once I say go, they get set again, and then I say go again. Okay, then they get set, and then they go again. I make them do it 3 to 4 times just so they can work on the timing, and I sit there and I coach them on it. We do it right foot, left foot. You see the next group going right here. Same thing. Now these are the youngsters now. You can see they're a little bit out of whack. You see 57 from the left. He's taking a way too big second step. Okay, so obviously his hands are going to hit the bag before his foot hits the ground. 76 to the left, right next to him. He's got good timing. Foot's on the ground as he's punching the bag. He's got that triangle we're talking about, as does number 50 in the middle of the sled. Okay, this is a drill that we use probably 2 to 3 times during the camp, and we do it a lot during spring ball. It's one of those things that we talk about working on the timing. Because if you don't get that second step on the ground as you drive block, you're not going to get the movement that we all desire. Now once we go through this a couple of times, I get them down into a 3-point stance. Okay, now this is where it gets a little hairy, because they just took their first step and now they're trying to work on both steps. It's just something that we do. You know, I don't have them drive the sled. I'm just interested in the timing here. As you can tell, they're a little bit out of whack. 79 did a good when he was up in the 2-point. Of course, he's going to do it good now. He's got good timing, Second step hits the ground as he's punching the bag. 70, his second step's a little too long. See how he's hopping into it? 73's timing's a little bit off as well. That second step, it gets in the ground a little bit late. He's already hitting the bag before that second step's in the ground. Now here we're going left foot, same thing, left foot. First step, we talk about 6 inches, get that second step in the ground. Okay, 79 again is pretty good. 69 is a little bit late, as is 78. Talk about creating a triangle once again with your face mask in your hands. Here's just a couple more looks at it as we switch up the groups. This drill right here we call our acceleration drill. This drill is designed to help offensive linemen working to a linebacker. The first part of this drill, like everything else we do, we break it up into 2 parts. As you notice, there is no linebacker in the drill. After I am satisfied with the way they work on the down lineman, I insert a linebacker in the drill. First part of this drill, the covered lineman, who you can see to the right, his job on the first go is to T-board, and he's going to freeze. On the first go, the uncovered lineman is going to take a bucket, so it's going to look like that right there. Okay, the key thing here, he's going to key the uncovered lineman's going to key the hip of the defender. If that hip comes toward him, there's color there, he's going to punch it. If there's no color there, he immediately snaps his eyes to the linebacker. The next part of this is the second go, and they're just going to run through the drill like this. Here's one more look at it. First go, uncovered lineman buckets, covered lineman takes a T-board step. Second go, they run through, there's color there, so he punches it. As you can tell, another key coaching point here is the covered lineman's outside hand is not into the block. If he does that, if he puts his outside hand on the block and the linebacker runs over the top, he'll never come off and block the lineman. You can tell the uncovered lineman, the inside hand is free.